I am María García de Fleury. St. Paul was a Jew who, at the age of 18, went to Jerusalem to learn how to be a true Jew with a profound knowledge of the laws, the reason for customs, the history of the Jewish people, and their worships. His teacher was the famous Gamaliel. Once he finished his training, he dedicated himself to persecuting Christians because he thought that they preached heresies and that they were spoiling all the faith of the people. The conversion of St. Paul was on an unexpected day. Nothing propitiated that change. Precisely, he carried letters of recommendations from the Jews of Jerusalem to those of Damascus, seeking to imprison the Christians he found. Until there extended the authority of the high priest and chief Pharisees. Since they were customs of religion, the Romans recognized them. Saul led a retinue that was not warlike, but very active, furious, impatient to fulfill a mission that they considered pleasing to God and a necessary purge for the stability of the Jews and to protect the purity of the traditions that the fathers received. They went like an advance guard of an army in battle array. They had already been walking for several days. They considered themselves well employed in the management ended if the management ended successfully. Saul, breathing threats of death against the disciples of the Lord, thought that there was a good deal of fury inside him. St. Luke, in the book of the Acts of the Apostles in chapter 9, says, "And it happened that when he arrived near Damascus, suddenly a dazzling light from heaven surrounded him, and falling to the ground, he heard a voice that said, 'Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?' And Saul responded, 'Who are you?' And the voice said, 'I am Jesus whom you are persecuting. Get up and go into the city, and you will be told what to do.' And the men who were listening to the voice, but not seeing anyone, Saul got up from the ground, and his eyes open, saw nothing. And taking him by the hand, they led him into Damascus. And he was 3 days without seeing, and not even eating or drinking. Then he was baptized. A change of life, change of works, change of thoughts, ideals, and projects. His passionate character took the course now marked without possible human obstacles. His surrender to God was without conditions. He was full of eagerness to bring first to his people and then to the entire world the joy of the love of God manifested in Christ. This happened in the year 35 when Paul was 36 years old. Paul himself narrated several times this fact that had extraordinary importance in the history of the church. For this reason, he was able to suffer shipwrecks at sea, persecutions of land, and scourgings, hunger, prison, humiliation, criticism, judgments, and death by the sword. For this reason, he made trips throughout the empire, traveling from end to end. He was excited to do it because he knew that for him it was a command more than a request. He rather considered pain and suffering as credentials and thought of the wounds on his body as a guarantee of the final victory in longed for fidelity. From being the greatest persecutor of Christians of his time, he became the greatest preacher because he had learned that with God we always win.